Hey Freaklings, Adam here. Are you tired of things being full priced? Do you want to feel as sexy as my voice sounds? Well, head on over to Quizzies this weekend for a Blue Dot special from October 23rd to the 25th. Everything with a Blue Dot is half off. If you want to save a few bucks and add greatness to your collection, put down that glazed turkey neck and head on over to Quizzies on Main Street in Broken Arrow. Tell them the Freak sent you. Thanks. Actually, I'm going to head there right now. Hey everybody, welcome back to Freak Fiction, and this is Adam Burr.
Hey, I'm Rudy Ramone.
And I'm Mikey White.
And holy shit, that was some time where we just went through, wasn't it?
Oh yeah.
We just did like 4 recordings of the intro. I kept on jumbling my words.
We got caught in a loop.
Yeah, he was all freakazied out from the timey-wimey stuff.
Yeah.
Right.
Wait, that's Doctor Who, that's not... Oh, never
It
mind.
counts.
It counts, I guess.
Dude, episode 7.
Yeah.
That's insane.
I'm...
Like 7 weeks in a row we've been doing this.
This is crazy.
Are you just used to not finishing anything at all?
Basically.
I'm just used to not doing anything, really. Like,
Yeah.
because... Partly because I'm nervous, and partly because I didn't want to be a procrastinator. It just sort of what just happened. I'm like, oh, okay, I'm going to do this today. I'm going to accomplish something. And then, like...
It just hadn't happened.
I'm like, I don't want to do this today, man.
That's every procrastinator. Don't worry about it. We're not gonna.
I don't like procrastinating. It pisses me off because I'm like, oh, I have the whole day. I'm gonna do all this shit. And, oh, fuck! I just punched my phone. I got all this shit to do. I'm gonna accomplish all this stuff, and then like about an hour into it, I'm just like,
You wake up from the nap you didn't know.
I'm like, I mean, I guess I might do that today. I don't know.
So, how was your guys' week?
Who would like to go first?
I'll go first because something very groundbreaking happened.
What's that?
I ate the first tuna sandwich I've had in 3 weeks.
Awesome.
Oh no.
And I didn't get an excruciating headache afterwards.
Awesome.
I'm not going to eat any. Well, I'm not going to eat another one for like another 3 weeks because I've learned my lesson after eating one every other day.
What you should do is every time you go to Subway, just get a different sandwich.
I do. That's what I did. I would switch between the spicy Italian tuna, and then the tuna gave me headaches. So I'm like, fuck that.
The chicken bacon ranch. That is the
I've
sandwich.
never tried that one. I've tried like every other one on there besides that one.
That one is so good. They have that. It's not good. I wouldn't say that. It's okay,
It'll
but
probably kill you in an instant. Like
chicken.
I mean,
Bacon,
cholesterol, fat.
My favorite is the steak and egg breakfast one
Oh yeah, dude. Their breakfast actually isn't bad.
I haven't really tried any of their breakfast shit.
on flatbread. Get it?
Yeah, I usually just alternate between flatbread and like a 9-grain honey oat. Honey oat's the shit.
Yeah, it is.
I used to work at what's it called, the hospital at 11th and Utica. I worked at the coffee stand or whatever there, and like not even like I don't know how far away it was, but there was a Subway in the same hospital, and I would go there every single day, and I got 25% off or something like that.
Holy shit! I wish I got 25% off.
So like,
I only get 10% off.
I had a little sign that I would put up, and I'd be like, oh, I'll be back in 20 minutes or whatever. I put that up, I go over to Subway. Dude, it's so cool. And then I usually would just make coffee for doctors like all day.
It kind of makes sense that it would be in a hospital because I don't know if you guys knew this. Like Subway's owned by the Doctors Association. Yeah, so it kind of makes sense that it being in a hospital, even though some of their stuff is questionably healthy. It's
I
like,
think
is
a
this
lot of
really
hospitals. I think a lot of hospitals actually have Subways in them. Because I mean, Subway is a franchise.
Yeah.
People just buy into that.
That's the first I've ever heard of one being in a hospital though, because I never go to the hospital.
This what is it? Hillcrest? That's what it's
Is
called.
that what it was? Hillcrest Medical
Hillcrest
Center?
at 11th and Utica.
Yeah.
But yeah, other than that's a good Subway rant. Other than
Yeah, Subway.
eat fresh.
Either way, I don't like it.
I mean, The two sandwiches I like. Oh, there are three really. The tuna, which I'm cutting back on because apparently mercury poisoning is a thing. Spicy Italian, which is the shit. Spicy Italian, I love spicy Italian.
Yes.
With jalapenos on it. Ever eat it with jalapenos? Every jalapenos, spicy Italian on like flatbread is the shit. Then because now since like I can't eat tuna, I've gone to like the ham, so I'm just like eating ham with like
it's just making me
with like honey mustard. Yeah, I haven't eaten supper, so I'm making myself hungry here.
Yeah. You switch subjects now.
It's so close to you too.
It's like right next to.
You really don't have. Let's say the fastest way I can get food on my break is just walk right to Subway.
Let's just stop before we make this entire episode of Subway plug.
Well,
we're not sponsored by Subway.
Yeah,
we are not sponsored by Subway.
I don't even like Subway that much. But if someone's like, "Hey, you want to go to Subway? I'll pay for you." It's like, okay, well, I'll go.
But I won't eat anything.
But no, I'll eat something. But it's like
you won't.
It's not my
as
first
much.
choice.
Yeah.
For
It's like the Long John Silver's of sandwich places.
I've got some good news, boys.
What's that?
For those of you who've been tuning in, I started a job about a week and a half ago.
Yay!
And this Monday, the manager called me of the store, and he said, "Hey, would you be interested in a position in management?"
Hey, I like the cut of your jib, boy.
I'm like, hell yeah. I didn't say hell yeah, but I was like, yes, sir. Of course. So, I am a manager in training now at my job.
I could probably be a manager. That's really cool. But I could probably be a manager where I work.
It's because you're white.
Just because, like, I see what most of the.
Well, no, my manager is Hispanic, so.
Oh, okay.
It was a joke, but okay.
But like,
yeah, I'm just saying.
I could probably become a manager if I wanted to, but I don't want to because like the other managers they don't do their job half the time. If you're listening to this, there are a couple of you who are really good, but there are some others I'm like, why are you a manager?
That's every job.
But like, I don't know. I think if I wanted to, I could become one. But back to my week though. Some interesting news. I'm really into this. They officially announced that there's going to be a WB Universal Kaiju universe.
Oh, nice.
That's nice.
Because at first, like a couple episodes ago, I remember saying like they might do it. There's like because all the pieces are in place to do it.
Yeah.
And like there's been talking about it, but now they've actually revealed like it's going to be. It's going to tie in Godzilla and King Kong. We don't know about any other ones. Like some people are thinking Pacific Rim might be in there because Legendary owns it, but nobody's really sure. And I mean,
that's Guillermo del Toro's property, so it's really up to him.
But like, because it's going to be like after Godzilla 2 in 2018, the American Godzilla 2.
Yeah.
They're going to do a couple of years, like a year or two later, they're going to do Skull Island, which is going to be the new Kong movie.
Yes.
And I'm really excited about that because Kong and Godzilla are two of my favorite like movie monsters in general. Just because there's a lot of thought put into them. A lot of people think they're just dumb, like it's a giant fucking dinosaur that breathes fire. But like he's a metaphor for nuclear weapons. He's like the walking apocalypse.
And if you watch the original King Kong, like it's pretty much set like this perfect structure for like a monster movie. It's like the same structure. It's like timeless.
It's just and Kong is like a really like whereas Godzilla's this destructive force, Kong is sort of like you sympathize with Kong because like
he's more benign.
Yeah, you sympathize with Kong a lot more than Godzilla. Although you start sympathizing toward Godzilla at the end when they start blowing the fuck out of him with the bombs because you're like, well, he is kind of just an animal.
Yeah.
Dude, I just want to see another Godzilla versus Mechagodzilla fight.
That's what some people were thinking. Like if they got Pacific Rim in on the mix,
dude,
like,
that would be so
they would bring in like a Mechagodzilla type thing. But some people are kind of like some people don't really think that's going to happen because how the fuck are they going to explain a giant robot Godzilla? Like
how did they explain it the first time?
Yeah, well that was the 60s though. That was the 60s though.
It was
you can explain it away because it's 60s. Who gives a fuck? We all those cheesy ass like sci-fi movies in the 60s.
Yeah.
I think it was like they built in defense of...
Yeah, it was like the JDF or Japan Defense Force or whatever. They built it in response to Godzilla. But like the pieces are in place now. After Skull Island, somehow or another, you guys remember the Monarch like organization in New Godzilla?
Yeah.
That's the connecting piece. Monarch is going to be involved in Skull Island somehow. They didn't reveal how, but somehow or another they're going to be involved in like all the shadowy goings on and stuff.
Of course, mindless corporation's gonna bring things together for profit. Well, I mean, where would they get such an interesting, intriguing idea? Being a corporation bringing something together for fucking profit.
Well, Monarch wasn't really. It was less of a corporation and more of like a kind of a secretive like government faction that was like had all this like the science equipment and stuff.
All government factions are corporations.
Well, yeah, basically, yeah.
Keep going though, dude.
Yeah, basically. Well, like another thing though is I didn't think about this until like just now, or not just now, but like whenever they announced like that Monarch was going to be the connecting piece between the universes. I was always wondering how they get their name Monarch, because and then immediately I thought of, well, Mothra is going to be in the next. Is going to be in the next movie.
Easy.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's going to be Mothra. It's going to be Mothra and Rodan in the next one.
Dude, Mothra is so cool.
Mothra and Rodan in the next one, and then the third one, I'm pretty sure it's going to be King Ghidorah. It's just the three most popular, most like recognizable monsters in the Godzilla lineup. But like I'm starting to think that Monarch may have named themselves after like this based off of Mothra, maybe it's just because Godzilla's the king of the monsters, he's the monarch of the monsters. I don't know.
This is what fan speculation is all about.
But like, I didn't think about them like Monarch butterflies, moths, Mothra. I'm like, and then like all these bells in my head start clicking. I'm like, what if it's this? And like, no. I'm just really excited about it because I just like I've said before that like I'm into a lot of different genres. And like kaiju genre is one of my favorites. Just I don't know, something about giant ass monsters wrecking shit. I think it kind of bothers me though whenever people like a lot of people now, like a lot of moviegoers nowadays, they always like they look at fantasy and they're like, oh, that could never fucking happen. Because this is scientifically impossible. They're too analytical now. Mm-hmm. They analyze the shit and they break it down and like, oh. And then like everybody and like scientists always then chime in like, oh well, if according to cube law, Godzilla and all these other giant monsters would just collapse under their own weight because of the gravity of the Earth. I'm like, but like, what if there's a mechanism in place like with these monsters where that doesn't happen? Maybe their cellular structure is made in such a way that it's strong enough to where it doesn't collapse under its own weight. They're allowed to move freely without like crushing continents when they walk and shit.
I have an idea. Maybe whoever is like overanalyzing it when you're talking to them, you could just be like, "It's a fucking movie."
That's what I keep. That's what I tell them. Like whenever Pacific Rim came out, people were like, oh, it's gonna be good. It's gonna be a mindless, dumb movie, blah blah blah. And then people, well, this could never happen. And then they had like articles about.
There's a difference between a mindless, dumb popcorn movie created by Guillermo del Toro and then a mindless popcorn movie created by Michael Bay. Yeah. One of them is obviously gonna be better than the other, and one of them is gonna be far superior to the other.
But yeah, I'm just super hyped about that because I loved the 2014 Godzilla. Yeah. I'm definitely going to see Godzilla 2018. Toho is actually making another one because of the success of Godzilla 2014. Mm-hmm. They're making another one, a new Japanese Godzilla in 2016.
They got to.
Yeah. And then like Gamera is coming out. That's a different company. Gamera is coming out in is it this year?
Want to know what I want? I want another Attack of the 50-Foot Woman. Let's do it right now.
That'd be pretty cool. I mean,
throw her in the mix.
It's like Monarch.
Michael Bay can direct that one because it'll be all about the sweaty boob angle.
The whole hour and a half of the
Did you see the one with Daryl Hannah? That's Daryl Hannah, right? The one with Daryl Hannah, it was written and directed by, if I remember correctly, it was written and directed by Christopher Guest. No. Of Spinal Tap fame / Christopher Guest movies.
The 70s one?
Yeah, it's the 80s, man.
80s one?
Late 80s, early 90s. Daryl Hannah's in it. But no, it's actually a really good metaphor for feminism if you watch it now.
Yeah. It's like a lot of
tangent.
It's like a lot. It's like a lot of those old horror movies. People watch them the first time and they're like,
they take it at face value.
They're like, this is so stupid, and then you watch it again, and then you start like, wait.
There's symbolism here.
This is all metaphors and shit.
Yeah.
They're like, my brain.
Yeah.
The brain explodes. Like, what the fuck? Godzilla's metaphor for nukes.
Yeah, I love it when, stories in general, they do get metaphoric and you don't notice it. But like when it's extremely obviously metaphorical, that's when I'm like, I tap out. I'm like, no, dude, I don't want you to be on your soapbox right now. Can I just watch this movie that is supposed to be a movie?
Well, speaking of, this week is a very special week in history.
Yeah.
The week Mikey dropped shit on the floor.
I just dropped it on the floor.
Yes, lots of stuff.
This is the 30th.
Yes.
Right?
30th anniversary of
Back to the Future Part 2.
We are living in the future, people. It's official.
In the future, and none of us have done our mods
You're
yet.
either listening to this on or after Back to the Future Day, October 21st.
Maybe you're listening to this in 3015.
Oh yeah.
Some archaeologists, like 1,000 years from now, are listening to this,
and they're wondering what the fuck is a kaiju.
No, they're wondering like, how the fuck do they know about that? So like, because like they probably already invented that shit. They probably some disaster happened, and all this nuclear fallout and like chemical and biological waste got in the environment, and all the fucking animals just got huge as shit. And they destroy the earth, and then like the humans are.
Or maybe humans got small.
Maybe.
Well, let's get back. Yeah.
Back to the Future.
Back to the Future seriously is my favorite movie growing up. I mean, even to this day, I actually would consider it my favorite movie of all time. Just because, like, me, my dad, and my sister used to have nights where we'd all stay up and watch all three of the movies, just back to back.
That's cool.
And we used to do Star Wars too.
I don't really consider Back to the Future 3 movies. I just consider it one huge ass movie.
No, it's 3 movies.
I mean, like, to me, it just feels like one huge ass movie. Cause like I can't cause I like them all. I can't like watch them all. I can't watch just one. I have to watch them all like back to back. So it's just the way it feels to me.
I mean, so let's go around. Each of us say, what does Back to the Future mean to you, Rudy?
A lot of right in the feels.
I mean, do you explain maybe the first time you watched it, or
the first time I watched it in Spanish.
Oh,
that makes sense.
I was in Mexico. It was one of the first time I was in Mexico, visiting family, and it was on TV, and it was subtitled, and I was like, oh, this is cool, but they didn't say the name of the movie, so I had no idea what the name of the movie was, because I came in after the credits started. And I was just like, oh god, this is so cool. What is this? This is such a good idea. This is a really good time travel movie, blah, 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 blah. I was like, I don't know, like 7, between 7 and 9, somewhere in there. And I didn't find out what the movie was until I got back home. And, we got illegal cable and it was on. And it was on. And I was just like, yes, this movie! Now I know what it is. And now I can watch it in English.
What's like your favorite part, or maybe a part of the movie that's just the most memorable to you?
Well, for me, I saw Back to the Future 2 first.
Okay.
And then I saw Back to the Future 1. For me, so my favorite is Back to the Future 2.
I agree.
Because obviously it goes, to the future and so on and so forth. It's so different and everything. But it's hard to pick like a specific favorite thing overall. But I'm gonna say like my favorite line, which I guess it kind of goes into like, how does this kid think this way when he's that fucking young? Is just the line that Doc Brown has. You're not thinking fourth dimensionally. To me, it's just like that's like a fucking siren for wake up and think outside of your box.
Yeah.
In general.
Yeah.
Just be open to new ways of perception. I've been thinking that way since I was like, I don't know, since
you came out of the womb and you're like,
yeah, I came out of the womb of philosopher, not on purpose.
I mean, what I meant by that was like when you think about Back to the Future, what's the most memorable, like, the very first thing that comes to your head?
First thing that comes to my head.
When you think about Back to the Future?
Possibility. Just being able to forge your own existence the way you see fit. Because that's what Marty McFly did in the first one. No,
Yeah.
and not on purpose. It was by pure accident. He didn't will it. But the funny thing is, if you look at Back to the Future and then you compare it to like the standards of now, it's a total like materialistic existence. Like the things that make him happy, that he thinks would make his life good, are materialistic things. You know, a clean house, this specific, you know, nice cool car,
Pepsi.
Yeah, right. But like in the movie, yeah, you see the things that do matter, like his father, you know, finally standing up for himself, and you know his parents falling in love, and you know at least remembering it, because later on, when at the end, when everything's a happy ending, the parents are still like super enamored with each other, because you know the George McFly's like smacking his mom's butt and all flirty and stuff, right? That's there. It's just that people focus on, you know, the materialistic position because that's the most obvious. They're not thinking about, you know, the inner things that made Marty's life better. Specifically Marty, because like he got over his sense of rejection. He was just as scared about playing in front of a crowd. You know, and he did. And he played the whole history of rock and roll in front of people who didn't know what the fuck rock and roll was.
Wasn't Chuck Berry?
His cousin, Marvin Berry.
Marvin Berry is there, and like he calls him up, and he's like, "You gotta hear this new sound."
Yeah.
What about you, Adam? What's one thing about, like, when you think about Back to the Future, what's one thing that comes to your mind?
Hoverboards. And how we're just now getting them.
Yeah.
We're just now. It took 30 years. Like,
and they're not.
30 years.
And they're not perfected to the way.
Yeah, they're not. They're nowhere near as cool as they are in the movie. Right
well, just think about it, like back in like the 50s, whenever they were showing cartoons of what it would be like in like the 80s/70s. Yeah, and it was like the Jetsons and shit. Yeah. But if you look at it, Back to the Future 2 is the most accurate of futures you've seen in movies.
Yeah.
Because like we don't have, you know, flying cars, we don't have hoverboards, but if you look at...
We're getting close.
If you look at the culture of the future in there, we do have that, and like they did predict a lot of stuff. You know, video chat, except on TV, it's on the phone. Having a phone on your glasses.
Yep, Google Glass.
Google Glasses, but that's fucking stupid. We realize that. What else did they do right?
They had a lot of fax machines.
Yeah, apparently fax machines still exist because I still see a fax number on like business cards in some places.
Apparently, those are all the rage of the future.
Yeah, but yeah, if you look at the culture, to me, like when Marty first walks in, you see the cafe 80s, you see the chick walking around in spandex. Yeah, girls are walking around in leggings or like you know workout clothes and stuff.
Yeah.
But like that was like if you know the East Asian influence like took over as much as it was supposed
That's
to.
That's what I like about like 80s versions of the future, because it's all like
a lot of the futures of movies or the 80s futures are the best.
Like a Blade Runner and shit, where it's like
Blade Runner takes place in 2019.
Yeah, 2019, and like everything's shitty.
It's
and
not
like,
that bad, yeah.
Everything's shitty, and like Asian influence all over the place.
Yeah, like if you look like walk around like Japan. It is freaking, you know...
It's Blade Runner. Yeah.
Not Blade Runner, it's Back to the Future too, because there's like 3,000 subcultures walking around in this, around there, and they're all like, you know, the Lolita squid clown, schoolgirl, weird restaurant things and stuff.
you can buy like used panties and like vending machines there. It's weird.
That's weird, yeah.
It's really weird.
But no, to me, what the future most really looks like is Johnny Mnemonic. That takes place. It stars Keanu Reeves. It's a what?
I was going to say isn't like fuck. God damn it! What's his name? Isn't
there's an idea formulating in your mind? Get to it.
How did I forget his name?
Work, Adam's brain.
No,
work.
It's the singer for Black Flag.
Black Flag. Henry Rollins, yeah.
Henry Rollins.
He's in it.
I was going to say, isn't he in that fucking movie?
Yeah, it's one of his earlier movies. Yeah.
I was like, I don't know why I couldn't remember Henry Rollins. I feel bad now.
But
Henry Rollins is badass.
But no, it's just like if you rewatch that movie, it's pretty much the times that we're living in now, corporations taking over, freaking, there's a riot going on every now and then here and there. Freaking, the technology is only slightly better than in the movie.
Yeah.
Right? But, like, I don't know, there's just... It's funny because it's based off a Johnny Mike short story written by William Gibson, who wrote Neuromancer and, the Sprawl trilogy and all that stuff.
Yeah.
He essentially created cyberpunk.
Yeah, that's another one of my favorite genres.
Yeah, and the movie came out like well after like his whole all of his stuff was ripped off and used in other movies.
Yeah.
Before he got to it, so whenever he finally got big movie wise because he wrote the script for it. It got it was cliched by that point in time. Like, the ideas that he started with and had and he forged and, he created the term cyberspace.
Yeah.
It was just like all used up by the time he finally got around to it and it was really unappreciated. And the funny thing is, like, if you watch that movie, Giant Mnemonic, like some people really, either really like it or they really hate it. It's just like, it's a very divisive movie, but to me, like, tone-wise, it's kind of like, it's got like a weird hypnotic tone, kind of like if you're watching, to me, whenever I watch it, I'm just thinking it's like a live-action anime.
Yeah.
Because they have like a strange tone that like obviously they get, but the Americans have a different rhythm than anything created by anime. So, but yeah, like I said, to me, there's something weird going on in my life with Keanu Reeves. Because like he's in The Matrix, he's in Giant Mnemonic, he's in A Scanner Darkly. Every single movie that has like, things that like formulate who I am and like my perception of the world, he's in that fucking movie. Not every one of them, but like in a lot of them. Yeah, Scanner Darkly is fantastic, and that's another great sci-fi movie that it's pretty much now.
Yeah.
The only thing that advanced technology that's in it really is the scramble suit.
Yeah, is it scramble suit?
Yeah, scramble suit.
First thing I thought was scatter suit.
Yeah,
scramble suit.
Scatter suit sounds like a weird porn. But
scatter suit.
Yeah, but no, yeah, the scramble suit is like the only futuristic technology in that movie. And the great thing about that movie is instead of saying this specific date, it says 7 years from now.
Yeah, it never like elaborates.
Yeah,
like it just says
people
7
don't
years.
realize is that the current time they're living in is made up of previous timelines. Because right now you could walk down the street, you could see a 1965 Mustang mint condition, and then right next to it, a jalopy freaking 1985 piece of shit. Mass-produced thing about on its last legs just drives right back past it, and then you walk into like that year Starbucks,
Scanner Dark is another one of those weird like hypnotic movies. It's kind of like.
I think that mostly comes from the fucking kick-ass score.
Well, not that and the artwork. And the fact that they're tripping balls the entire time.
Yeah.
Like Frick's awesome.
Charles Frick.
Yeah, Frick's awesome.
So, like, speaking about, like, Back to the Future and all that stuff.
Yeah.
Get back kind of that,
Get back from your weirdness, dudes.
If you guys had the DeLorean, and you could go back in time or forward in time or whatever, where would you go, and what would you do?
That's too much responsibility.
Yeah, I'm kind of scared.
I think about something simple to where, it's like, I could just go back there one time.
I'd probably bring, like, a couple, like, scientists with me, and, like, go to, like, try to figure out where the hell life came from first, like, go back in time and figure out the origins of life, and then, like, go into the future, and, like, I don't know, just see what the future's like.
Hey, guess what? God isn't real. Single-cell organism develops. Deal with that, bitches.
Yeah.
Did you hear, like, NASA, was it NASA? I think it was NASA. Scientists found, like, some compound in, like 4 billion year old, like rock fragments, and it suggests that life may have began almost instantaneously after the Earth was formed. Because it's 4.1 billion years old, and the Earth is 4.5 billion years old. So almost like instantaneously after the Earth was made, life could have like formed somehow. Mm-hmm. It's weird. Like I can't remember what it was. It was some kind of like organic, like possibly organic matter, like preserved in like some kind of like silica rock or something from like 4 billion years ago. It was really weird because initially everybody just thought, for the longest time, people thought like, oh, it was like 3 point whatever billion years ago the first single-celled organisms like appeared. But now they're pushing it back like a billion, or like not like a billion years, like I think they said they pushed it back 300 million years beyond that because that's where this stuff dated from.
300 million years sounds like a good amount of wiggle room.
Yeah, I don't know. It's weird. I still say like, I don't know. I kind of sort of like. I wouldn't be surprised if like panspermia happened. Like you know what panspermia is, right? Or like
explain it for the people who don't know.
Panspermia basically, life arrived on Earth from another place. Mm-hmm. Like either it accidentally happened from fucking comets and chunks of planets and space dust and shit.
AKA the movie Evolution. Keep going.
Or some other civilization somewhere along the lines, like for whatever reason. They just decided, like, we're going to seed this planet for whatever fucking reason. Yeah. But, like, I mean, they're aliens. There could be any number of reasons to do that. I don't know.
AKA the movie Prometheus.
Yeah. Well, what's another movie? Have you, like, what the fuck was that movie? What was that? Some movie with, I forget her name, Jodie Foster in it, where, like, she was the astronaut, the aliens, she figured out aliens. Contact, yeah. The aliens seeded the Earth and everything, yeah. Mm-hmm. I remember watching that in like class, and like some kids were like, "Are they trying to say that aliens God?" I'm like, "Shut the fuck up! It's a movie." Yeah. Like, and besides, like that could very well be a possibility where like some really advanced extraterrestrial somewhere along the line. It's like, I'm gonna seed this place, and he's like, "Why? I don't fucking know. I'm just gonna do it because I can." Yeah. I mean, wouldn't you do that? Like, there's nothing on this planet right now. I can just zap it with my finger and then boof. Shit. Like shit starts evolving there. Yeah. Also, that speaking of aliens, it's actually one of the things you talked about last time. Whenever you're talking about how you guys think that you'd have to be bisexual to do an alien, but like
no, you don't have to be
like Star Trek. Like you're talking about like Kirk has to be bisexual. Like they explain in like one of the seasons that why all the races look like humans because they're all seeded from the same race. They're all cousin races. That's why they can reproduce with one another. So there's really no like weirdness there. They just all some really super advanced super race. I think was it Voyager or some Deep Space Nine or some shit when they revealed this. Like one of the plot lines was this really advanced civilization, the very first humanoid civilization, a long time ago. For whatever reason, I need to watch the episode again. They start seeding, like they would go around the galaxy and they start seeding places, and with like their own genetic material, and that's why all the races are basically humans with green skin. That's or humans with weird ridges because they're all like cousin races. They're all like almost but not really like us and chimpanzees kind of. Like we're related to chimpanzees, but we're not really like. They're more related, like the aliens in Star Trek are more related to us than chimpanzees are related to us. Because that's how they're able to interbreed and shit. So that's what kind of reminded me of that. And then, what else? I don't know, it's weird, like Earth being, like life just appearing out of nowhere instantaneously. If they ever like find like more concrete evidence of that, a bunch of like, I don't know, just a bunch of like spiritual people are going to get jumping on that because it's, I don't know. I'm just really interested in stuff like that. And then
that's what you'd do if you had a DeLorean?
Yeah, I got to go back in time and find out the original life.
There we go. That's all you had to say.
I think it'd be cool just to kind of do like what Marty did is like go back and see my parents when they were...
And fuck up the entire future.
Kids and watch them meet and fall in love and stuff. I think that'd be really cool.
And potentially fuck up the entire history of the time, like the entire time-space continuum.
I wouldn't fuck with anything. I
just by being there, you're fucking with stuff.
Not to go too deep like all this.
I think it'd just be cool to see my parents as kids, or not kids, but teenagers or whatever, and falling in love. I think that'd be cool.
No.
Rudy would go into the future.
No, I'm just thinking I'd go back in time and I'd see if I actually do belong to this family that I exist in. I would actually see if I was birthed from my mother. And if I was not accidentally switched at the hospital.
It's like you go back in time to like 10 years before your birth, and train to be like a physician?
No, I do the hot tub time machine. I'd go back in time and I'd kill my own father.
No, you train to be a doctor. You train to be a doctor that specializes in like pregnancy and stuff.
Yeah.
And then like you figure out like the exact location of where she had you or where she supposedly had you, and then like you just wait.
That is actually a good point. I have no idea any of my parents' personal history. I have no idea how they met. I don't know any information about them. Whenever I asked them anything, they didn't really say anything. They changed the subject. I just live with a bunch of strangers my whole life.
They're a secret society. They're like cult cultists. You were secretly like birthed in like a ritual like somewhere. Some like
you came from the ground like a potato.
your baby you popped out of the ground like the cover of Evil Dead where it's just the hand like that. And like it popped out. It was you, but it still had your head. It was like
so
your doll head.
person. Is that what you're saying?
Yes.
No, but you had a wrist bracelet with studs on the end of it.
And you were already.
What the hell did you even say, Mikey? That was like a big slur.
Sorry.
You were like laughing too much.
You popped
wrist bracelet. With
like a studded wrist bracelet.
Oh, okay, I got you.
But you popped out with like a
That's
philosophy
a hard
book.
word to say.
You popped out with a big stack of philosophy books too.
Try to say wrist bracelet 5 times fast.
I can't because I have. People always think I'm from another. People always think I'm from like another state or another country or something. Like because I guess I don't know. For one, I don't sound like a hick. So they're like, "Are you from around here, boy?" I'm like, I've lived in Oklahoma my entire life.
Yeah, I just sound more intelligent than you, sir.
That's what somebody at my job said one time. He walked up to me and I was serving him and everything, and like we were talking because that's what I do. I have to talk to the customers, and like he's like, "Are you sure you're from around here?" And I'm like, "Yeah, I've been here my entire life." And he's like, "You must have a formal education." I was like. I started like cracking up, like laughing. It was funny.
Are you sure you're from around here? Positive.
Yeah.
But like I don't know. They always think I'm from like. They either think I'm from like Jersey, or they think I'm from New York, or they think I'm from Ireland or Britain or something.
No, I can see the Jersey vibe.
Yeah.
Or not the Jersey, the New York.
Because
New
like
York, Jersey vibe. Yeah.
some like lady from like New York, was it Pennsylvania, New York? I'm not, somewhere around the East Coast, like the.
An East Coast lady thought you were from the East Coast.
Yeah, it was weird because she talked. It was like she heard me talk. She's like, "Are you from Jersey?" I'm like, "No, I'm from Bixby, Oklahoma." She goes, "You don't sound like you're from here. You sound like you're someone from Jersey." I'm like, "Oh,
save me."
Thank you. But I don't know. It's just people always think I'm from. They always assume I'm from somewhere else. Not everybody from Oklahoma sounds like
a hick.
Like Tim McGraw or something.
Yeah.
I don't know if he's from Oklahoma.
Well, it really depends where you live, because to me, everyone sounds.
Yeah, my dad is from Texas, and he lived in Texas or Oklahoma his whole life. And he's got a very thick Southern accent to this day. And my mom is up. She's from Minnesota, so she's like super north. And my mom has a really northern kind of accent still. So it's kind of funny. It's kind of funny to hear both of those all the time. Like when I'd be like, "Hey guys, did you wash your jeans?" like, there's always an R in wash. Wash. You wash. And my mom will say bag instead of bag. Bag.
What's weird is my mom is a combination of both of those things. She's from Oklahoma. I don't think she's ever lived anywhere else. But the way she says things, like she'll say, like, let me think of something she would say. She would say like,
Oats.
Yeah, she'll like wash. She says, I need to wash the laundry. Everybody get your laundry. Wash everything.
Woof.
Or like I don't know. Just, I can't. I would need her to be here and say shit behind me, like
give her a call right now
to remember any of this shit.
Yeah. My dad says woof too instead of wolf.
That's funny.
Well, like
I love my dad.
My dad's from California, and like he moved here in the '80s, and he swore the guy here like, "I'm not going to sound like a hick. I am not going to start talking. I'm not going to add R's everything I fucking say. I'm not going to use the word ain't." And now he uses the word ain't, and he like sounds like a hick. Like,
that's funny.
But
I have not used the word hate yet at all. Ever.
I don't use it unless I'm making unless I'm like being like unless I'm like adopting a personality, like playing if I'm just being
playing
weird,
a character, yeah.
being weird, like I don't use it. But like any other.
That's funny. That reminds me. It's just that doesn't matter. It's just a quick little side thing. It just from we're talking to. Yeah, I got laid because a girl thought that I was from Ireland.
What?
Because I pretended I was from Ireland.
Okay.
Why?
For some reason, Rudy, I think I'm gonna be in the same situation as you.
Yeah.
If I'm ever around maybe a girl who's really attractive, or maybe somebody I don't know, for some reason I'll talk in a British accent. I don't know why. I don't know why I do it.
Sometimes I'll end up doing that, but I sound like I do that on accident at work.
One time it got me in a whole bunch of I got mixed up in a big old situation. I was at Old Navy, and for some reason, when the girl greeted me, when I went up to the counter to pay for my stuff, I just started talking in a British accent. And then I forgot my wallet in my car. I was like, okay, hold on, I'll be right back, just or whatever. So I went out to my car, and I was kind of just flustered. I was like nervous and stuff, and I went to grab my money. And when I shut the door, the top of the door hit the back of my ear and scraped it. So all I felt as I hit my ear on the door, I was like, okay, that hurt. And then I went back in the store, and apparently I was bleeding all the way down my neck. And then it went down to my chest, and this lady behind me was like, "Are you okay?" I'm like, "What? What's going on?" She's like, "You're bleeding." I was like, "Oh no." So here I am, I'm stuck, and I have to keep this British accent going. And then I was like, I had cash, and so I paid the girl, and then these people behind me were just kind of looking at me. I'm bleeding, and I'm just like, "Oh, thank you."
He's got his head to his shoulder. You guys can't see. It's funny.
It really backfired on me, I guess you could say.
I thought
because I had to try to maintain this British accent while someone was telling me you're bleeding profusely. And I got in my car and I looked at my ear, and dude, there was blood running from my ear all down to my neck and like on my shirt.
Did you have to get stitches or just a bleeding line?
No, it was a pretty good scratch. Like just the corner of the door hit my ear.
I thought you were gonna say like you started talking in the British accent, and there were actual British people shopping there, and they chewed you out because they knew you were fake. I've got
a whole nother story about something like that.
That's for another time.
But that's for a whole different time.
Yeah.
I'll just tell a part of it. I worked at a hotel once for a while, and there was a guy there who was from London. And he came up to the thing, and he's like, we had like a breakfast thing set up, there was like tea and coffee, and then you go to the other side and they have like sausage, eggs, all that crap. And he walked up to the tea part, and he was like, cup of tea. And I thought he was joking around. So I was like, oh, you like some cream with that? And he's like, he just looked at me kind of like, just with a completely just dumbfounded, like, he thought I was making fun of him. He's like, no. It's like, oh, guys, that guy's actually British.
I try not to get in situations like that.
He said it in a way to where it sounded like he was making fun of the accent, but he actually.
He might have.
He was genuinely excited, but he said it like he was making fun of it.
Oh, cup of tea.
He may have been like dicking around a little bit because he's well aware of the stereotype.
Yeah.
He might have been dicking around a little bit, but like whenever you thought he was actually faking it or whatever, he probably was like, "I'm real, bitch."
Yeah. That's funny.
Anyway.
Another thing. No, I guess we'll continue on my week. I guess.
Yeah.
We'll look back to the future.
Whatever you did, man.
It's not so much something I did. This is an article I read. Because Disney owns like Marvel and Star Wars and of course all the Disney properties, and they've actually teamed up with a with a bionics company. And they manufacture bionic limbs for children.
Oh yeah,
based off of.
Yeah, I saw that thing with Robert Downey Jr.
Mm-hmm.
They based off of the Iron Man gauntlets and Luke's arm, and shit. And of course they have a frozen one. That doesn't really make any sense. It's a frozen arm. She's not cyborg.
Yeah.
But I'm just really interested in stuff like that, like cybernetics and stuff, and just really something. I would never do it unless I got really, really fucked up. Unless it's the only way to save me. Then okay, just give me a fucking robotic arm or something. I don't care. But if I don't need it, I'm not gonna do it. There are some people who are hardcore transhumanists. You know what transhumanism is?
Yeah.
Transhumanism. Well, there are hardcore transhumanists who think that
Explain that for people who don't know though.
Transhumanism is it's like a way of thinking / lifestyle where they think that human beings are they're absolutely human beings can achieve perfection through technological enhancement, chips in your brain, robotic arms, robotic everything, bionic everything.
Yeah.
It's cybernetics basically, cyborgs.
Keep going.
And they basically think that people should be able to do that.
They think people should be cyborgs.
They think that people should be. They think they want to be better than human, basically.
Yeah, keep going.
But I don't really I would never do that because the whole better than human thing. I have big issues with that.
Continue.
But it's just so fascinating that Disney collaborated with this bionics company and they're actually manufacturing these things for kids. And I don't know. I just thought that was cool. This cool thing to bring up.
Yeah, I saw this video with Robert Downey Jr. and he went to this kid that was missing one of his arms.
Yeah.
And he brought this really cool suitcase and he opened it up and it had a bionic arm in it.
Like the Iron Man gauntlet.
And it looked like the Iron Man arm.
Yeah.
And I was imagine being that little kid. This kid is probably 6 or 7 years old.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, and then you look at this guy and then in your mind you're this is Tony Stark. This is Iron Man.
And he's giving you a piece of his
technology. Yeah. Exactly.
He's giving you a piece of his suit to use as your arm.
Yeah.
That is, I kind of teared up when I watched that. To be honest,
I did too.
I did too. Wow, this is super powerful.
When I read that article, I got really. It was because they were changing these kids' lives by giving these allowing them to have these things. Not only do they have a functioning
they feel like a fucking superhero.
They feel like Luke Skywalker. They feel like Iron Man.
Yeah, that's such a powerful thing. And Robert Downey Jr. he does a lot of stuff with charity kind of stuff like that too. And that's just so cool too. It's we've got so much of this technology now that we're able to there's people who are colorblind who are being able to see colors for the first time. There's people who are deaf and they're getting to be able to hear it for the first time.
Yeah. Stuff like that I think is really fascinating.
Those things I mean, as much as a bitch as it makes me sound, anytime I watch any of those videos like that, I get teared up, dude. It's super emotional. It's this person has never heard sound before. Mm-hmm. Or has never actually got to see the color of his daughter's eyes or,
or heard their spouse's voice or whatever.
Yeah, and it's just wow, that's so amazing because...
But imagine if that spouse had a voice like Fran Drescher. Would that be a good thing?
I mean...
you silly boy.
They kind of tied the whole arm thing. Whenever I saw it, it kind of tied into that game I've been playing, the Metal Gear Solid 5.
Yeah.
Because the main character, in the game, he gets. I'm not gonna. I don't like spoiling things because I just play the game. But this is obvious from the trailers. He gets he basically he builds I already told you the whole thing where the government betrays him. He breaks away from the government and he basically builds an army without borders, for soldiers who don't have a home anymore, soldiers who can't really live without being on the battlefield. And he builds an army without borders, and they're basically contract. They do government, not government contract. They call it private army basically, and his entire private army. and they got put into like a coma. Like he got put into a coma and shit. Like a lot of them died, and he got into like sent to like a 9-year coma, and in the hospital like he had to get like his arm amputated. Well, it was amputated in the like an explosion, and like he got like a bionic arm like on his left arm, and that like and that Disney thing reminded me a lot of what happened in the game, because like he's having to deal with like similar situations, because it's called Metal Gear Solid 5. And then like every game has like a tagline.
Yeah.
And like Metal Gear Solid 5, the Phantom Pain, because like he still feels his arm there, but like it's just a prosthetic arm. And a lot of like the themes throughout there is like him and like all of the survivors and stuff dealing with like the physical and or mental like phantom pains of what happened to them, and like them like I don't know, them just like feeling like anger and stuff toward it, because like they got fucked over. They basically got fucked over by the government, basically. But like that's what the whole Disney bionic arm thing reminded me of, because it's basically like
people getting fucked over by the government.
Yeah, kind of, sort of, not really. No, like just like
I hear you saying.
The arm they used like in the game looked almost exactly like the arm, like the little prosthetics they made for these kids. So I thought that was really interesting. It was really like on point with what I was doing at the moment. It was like, oh, that reminds me a lot of this.
Yeah, I got you.
And then like of course the Force Awakens coming out. And have we talked about that yet? The Force Awakens trailer?
Barely. No, well that just came out like on Monday.
Yeah.
But we haven't talked about that yet. What did you guys think of the Force Awakens trailer?
Man, I almost cried.
So I've got goosebumps at the whole thing.
It was just like, oh my god, this is really happening. And then about a couple days ago, before that trailer released, I watched the San Diego Comic-Con Star Wars panel.
Yeah.
And just watched J.J. Abrams talk about, like, you know, the new movie and all that stuff, how he's using practical effects, not trying to do too much CGI.
Actual costume aliens and shit. Mm-hmm. But like,
the trailer just... Oh my gosh, it got me so excited. I have so many things running through my mind.
It's the best. It's the best one they've released so far. The other ones were really good. I mean, they got me hyped. But this one actually got me like, you could tell it was Star Wars, but it was a different vibe of Star Wars. Like it felt like the old one, but it felt like the old ones like in
but newer.
But like updated.
It's
like,
the same, but it's different.
Yeah. For me, pretty much a scrambled version of what you guys just said, because like the first ones came out like, oh yeah, cool, awesome, new Star Wars movie. I'm gonna watch it anyway because it's a Star Wars movie, and I didn't really get too like affected or invested in it. I'm like, it's gonna happen. I'm gonna watch it, obviously. Blah blah. But this last one, I was like, oh god, it's so good, and I actually got a little teary eyed, and all that stuff.
But just like Han, like. Because in the original trilogy, Han was like, the Force is some hokey religion, blah, blah, blah.
He came around. He's seen shit.
And now he's actually like, he's telling them, like, he's telling Finn and Rey, that's their names, it's like, the Force is real, the Jedi is real, and there is a dark side, blah, blah. And, like, you can tell that he actually means it. He's not just, like, saying it to, like...
Because Han is just... He's like the douchiest character in the Star Wars universe.
Yeah, kinda, yeah.
No, can we just like look at it in a meta perspective? Because like when you see like Harrison Ford in an interview about like either Indiana Jones or Star Wars, he's like, what the fuck ever, man. It's a movie, blah blah blah. But then like he's acting in it as a character that he's iconic for, and he's just like, yeah, it's real. Isn't that just hilarious to you?
It's insane.
Well, like I don't know, and then like. We actually get to hear like Kylo Ren's voice, like what he sounds like.
Yeah.
And there's actually a Kylo Ren theory that a lot of people have been throwing around. I don't really buy it, because I'll tell you about that in a second. But like, okay, you know how on the new poster they released, it shows all the main characters but one. There's no Luke Skywalker in the poster. There's no Mark Hamill anywhere in that poster. And
or in the trailer.
Yeah, well, they show him kind of sort of in the trailers where it's like him, like his hand, like resting on. You hear him talk.
Could be him or anyone else with a prosthetic.
Well, like,
yeah.
Do you? Well, I remember from like the comics. Wasn't Cade Skywalker?
I'm not sure.
One of the Luke's kid.
But like,
not Luke's kid, but
Leia and Han's.
Han's kid.
Well, people are thinking that too. That's another thing we're talking about. But one of the theories is that they wouldn't just not include Luke for no reason. The only reason to like keep his appearance so hush hush, like it would like there has to be something like really big going on like story wise that they don't reveal like immediately in like the promotion material.
That's what I want. I want it to be like the Spock moment in the new Star Trek movie where like he turns around and it's fucking Spock.
But like,
you know what I mean?
So the theory is that the theory is that since Luke isn't on any of the promotional material, isn't in the trailer, he speaks, and there might be a scene of him petting like R2-D2 with his robotic hand, but like other than that, he's not on any promotional material. And some people are thinking that like, what if Luke was actually Kylo Ren, and that would kind of explain why he wants to continue like. Because he says like I'm gonna continue what you started to like the Vader mask, and he sort of patterns himself off Darth Vader. But the only thing the thing I don't think it's true, because the problem with it is Kylo Ren he uses a really like ghetto ass like lightsaber. It's like it's unstable because whenever he turns it on, it crackles and the blade's all like messed up and wavy. Mm-hmm. It's not a true lightsaber. And Luke knows how to fucking make a lightsaber.
Yeah.
And two, there have been like shots of Adam Driver, is it? Is Adam Driver?
Yeah.
Adam Driver as Kylo, like front shots of him like in the outfit without the mask on. But some people are like, oh, it could be just like trolling us, but like I don't know. But I don't really buy it. I just thought it was an interesting theory to bring up.
Well, there's a new shot. There's a tiny tidbit and shot where I can't remember his character's name, but John Boyega, the black stormtrooper that got pissed off about.
Finn. His name is Finn.
Okay, yeah, Finn. Where he's got a blue lightsaber and he looks like terrified that he's about to fight Kylo Ren, and like, cause that's cool. Cause, I don't know obviously no one really knows what's going on with his character. Maybe he's a Jedi. Maybe he just picked up a lightsaber from a fellow Jedi. And he's like, oh shit, we gotta fight this guy.
It's actually Luke's lightsaber.
Okay, but yeah, he picks it up, right? Or whatever. He has a lightsaber for some reason, and he looks terrified that he's about to fight. Maybe not terrified, but he's like, oh shit, I'm gonna have to do this. I don't know how I'm gonna do it. But if you look at the back of the head, because you see like normally he has on a hood or a helmet.
Yeah.
Hair's flowing. So at some point, something's gonna go down. Helmet's gonna come off.
Well, yeah, but it's Adam Driver's hair though. He
obviously, because if you know Adam Driver,
he kind of has the whole like kind of Hayden Christensen.
It has the bob
thing going on.
Yeah.
But like, some people are thinking that like in that scene where like he's about to like fight Kylo Ren and he's like, oh shit, I don't know what I'm doing, but like there's no real way to back out of this.
Isn't it great that we're speculating about shit and we're not saying this character looks like it's gonna be a piece of shit? Isn't it fantastic? There's like nothing really negative being said. And not just us, like anybody who talks about it.
I haven't really anything bad about it.
Yeah, it doesn't. No one says like anything's gonna look bad. No one says like, oh, this is probably a piece of shit.
But like,
so that's what I'm glad about. Continue. Sorry.
But like, some people are thinking that like, Finn's just gonna get his like, he's gonna get his ass handed to him, and, like right before he's about to get killed off.
Yeah.
Like, we're gonna see like a green lightsaber like light up like in the background somewhere, and that's when Luke's going to be introduced, and he's just going to like kick Kylo Ren's ass, and then they're going to be like, oh shit, it's Luke Skywalker, and like that's how they're going to introduce him.
He deserves a good reveal.
Yeah, some people are thinking about that. And another thing, there's a weird thing going on with Finn. Finn's the black guy. Mm-hmm. He's a former stormtrooper, and then he defects for whatever reason.
Allegedly.
Like they show a scene where like he's in the suit. Remember in the trailer where like he says like I don't really have anything to fight for anymore.
Yeah.
Like he says something along those lines. Like it's strongly implied that he was a former like stormtrooper, but he didn't really like eventually like something happened to him. Then like he's like, what the fuck? It's like, oh my god, and I don't think I want to be a part of this anymore.
Yeah, keep going.
But like, because they show like a scene where like there's a bloody handprint on like his helmet, and he takes it off, and he's like nervous, he's like scared as shit. But like, Finn and the girl character Ray, they never say their last names. Every other character has a last name besides them. And J.J. Abrams has said there's a very specific reason for why they haven't revealed their last names. And most people are assuming that either one or both of them are Han and Leia's children. And then some people are like, well, he's black, so he can't be Han's kid. Well, actually, in one of the comic books that still canon because it still takes place.
Yeah, I saw that. Yeah.
He actually has an ex-wife who's black.
Black, yeah. And
she comes by and like at the end of the comic, like, you forget about me, and he's like, oh fuck. But like,
yeah,
that could be it. Or some people are thinking like maybe Finn is Lando Calrissian's kid.
Yeah.
Because Finn Calrissian sounds badass.
Yeah.
But then another one. Also, like, it would make Finn if he was actually Han's kid. It would make Finn like Rey's half brother.
Yeah.
But like some people are assuming
Rey's the girl, right?
Rey's.
Yeah, okay.
Some people are assuming that Rey is like like Leia and Han's daughter or something.
Rey's gorgeous.
But like there has to be there's a reason they're keeping their names hush hush.
Obviously, yeah.
I'm just really excited about it. Like so much so that I've been buying the shit out of like those trading cards.
Yeah. And
I've just been addicted to the app. I've been doing like really nerdy.
I'm just glad that it looks like that like 98% of the movie doesn't look like shitty CGI.
Yeah, the CGI looks really good. Yeah. He spent more on. They spent more making this one movie than they did any one of the prequel trilogy. And they spent way more into this one.
J.J. Abrams was talking about how he really wanted to capture the essence of the first.
Yeah.
Or the 4, 5, and 6.
Because you get like the technology and stuff. If you notice, most of it's still exactly the same as it was 30 years ago in the timeline.
Yeah.
Only like a few things have become more sleek and streamlined. Like the First Order, their like stormtroopers are more sleek and they're more like streamlined. Their weapons are more like sleek and like their weapons actually look like functional weapons instead of like kind of props. But like
that's cool.
And like even on the Millennium Falcon, you know how wasn't in Return of the Jedi where his satellite dish gets fucked up?
Yeah.
He has a new satellite dish to replace the old one. It's like a brand new dish.
Yeah.
And that's obviously a nod to like that scene. Mm-hmm. But like and then of course there are like the new droids and stuff. BB-8, who's like the little ball droid, the one that looks like a R2 head.
He's practical. He's a practical android.
He's actually like an animatronic puppet thing.
Yeah.
And then another thing from the trailer that some people are theorizing on. There's a scene the scene where they're walking into that temple looking thing and there's that red robot walking past them.
Yeah.
And it's Han and Finn. Mm-hmm. If you look on the very top of that building, like on the very top of the building, like just like above the dead center where the entrance is, and like behind all the banners and shit hanging off the roof, you see the Mandalorian logo. And people in Mandalorian, like, Boba Fett is a Mandalorian.
Yeah.
Like, and Jango Fett they're Mandalorians. Mm-hmm. And some people were theorizing that this was Han and Finn going to, like, hire Boba Fett to help them, like, track down Luke Skywalker. Because that's one of the big things in the movie. They're trying to find Luke Skywalker. Mm-hmm. Because the First Orders they're the predecessors, or not the predecessors. They're the successors of the Empire, and they're sort of like J.J. Abrams sort of straight up said like he just thought of them as what if the Nazis fled to Argentina and tried to restart things. That's his basis on it because
that's cool.
The Empire's already kind of based off of Nazi Germany mixed with like samurai and stuff, but like. And the First Order, they want to hunt down the Last Jedi, which is Luke Skywalker. Mm-hmm. That's one of their main goals. They want to. They're the bad guys. They want to kick the shit out of the Jedi, and then finish what the Emperor and Vader started. Mm-hmm. But I don't know. I just think that would be pretty cool if there's an actual scene where like they reveal that Boba Fett's still alive. I want to know if he's still alive. How the hell is he still alive? Like
that's probably gonna be the whole Boba Fett movie.
Because I want to know why he's still alive. Because
he's got a jetpack. I'm pretty sure.
That's how he got out in the comics. Because he was thrown in the Starlight Pit, and after so much time passed, he just jetpacked the shit out of there. He's like, fuck this. He just flew out. But I don't know. I just want to see Boba Fett again and him not get accidentally tossed into a pit again. That was completely by accident. He was
a funny moment.
It was, but yeah, he was a cool character though, and it was kind of stupid to see. I was kind of pissed. It was kind of a missed opportunity.
You wanted him to have a grand death.
Yeah. It's kind of a missed opportunity to just to have him get this like a pissy death. He just kind of Han accidentally knocked him into the pit.
Yeah. I get what you're saying.
I don't know.
What else you got there? Is that your whole week?
Let's see. Speaking of Back to the Future.
Okay.
The theme for this month's Loot Crate is actually time. I haven't gotten it yet, but when I get it, I will bring it on the next one, and I'll probably get it either.
We'll do an unboxing.
Yeah, I'll either do it tomorrow. I'll either get it tomorrow or. Excuse me. I don't normally do that. or the next day. It's usually around the 19th, 20th, 21st.
If you get any Back to the Future stuff,
there will be Back to the Future stuff.
I will buy it from you for a substantial amount of money.
There will be Back to the Future shit. There will be Doctor Who shit. There will probably be 12 Monkeys shit, all sorts of other stuff.
Have you seen the 12 Monkeys TV show?
I haven't seen the TV show.
I haven't either.
I've heard it's not very good. I don't know. I've heard it's kind of.
A lot of TV shows that are based off movies are not that good.
Yeah,
there's occasional good ones.
I've heard it's kind of I'm not even sure it's still around anymore. Yes. But I'm still waiting for the Loot Crate. Then a couple days ago, I finally watched Wolf Cop.
Oh hey.
And I don't want to spoil anything. It was a really good B movie, but I'm not gonna spoil. The only thing I'm gonna spoil is Wolf Dick. That's the only thing I'm gonna say. Wolf Dick.
So much imagery.
Wolf Dick.
Wolfman's got nards. Why wouldn't he have a dick?
So robotic arms and wolf dicks, right?
That's gonna be the title of this episode. That's gonna be the title of this episode.
It's official.
And then what else? Also, earlier when you were talking about college earlier, weren't you? Maybe it was before the podcast or something. I don't know.
That was before the podcast.
Yeah. Marky was talking about college, or somebody was talking about college. Mm-hmm. But I actually found out that there's a film school called Film Connection, and there's a Tulsa segment.
Oh, cool.
And I've always wanted to do stuff like that, and it's not expensive film school either. They don't there's no fluff. There's nothing. It's there's nothing that shouldn't be there that is there, because that's a lot of film schools. It's all this equipment and stuff that you probably won't even use.
It's very minimal.
Yeah.
To the point. Yeah.
Yeah, but it's not. I don't know. I thought it was really interesting. I found it, and I'm I might actually be interested in doing this, because I'm not sure where if there's this campus, or where. I'm not sure where exactly it is yet, because they don't give you a map. They don't show you where it is. Mm-hmm. They just said there's a Tulsa segment, and I guess that if they accept you, they'll give you the thing where to go and blah 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 and how to do it and everything. I thought that was really cool.
I'll figure that out. I'd like to see about that as well.
I'm really interested in that, because that's something. I mean, if I had money, I'd just pick up a camera and just do shit. But I always feel really self-conscious about because I don't know, because there are a lot of filmmakers who didn't go to film school, and there are a lot of them who did. So I'm just I don't know what to do.
I want to know what the real film school is? Making movies.
Yeah,
just making them.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter if it's an actual big studio or independent. Just make them. That's how you fucking.
And then what else? Are we gonna talk about costumes?
We can, I guess.
We're gonna talk about.
You gotta do that.
Or do you want to say that for later?
I have no idea what I'm gonna do. I might be working that day, so I might just get a name tag that just has a different name.
Okay. All right, go ahead, Adam.
But I'm going to be Doctor Strange.
Yeah.
I already have my cape. I have my I have my shirt, in my gloves, and I have the black pants and everything. I still need to get the long sleeve shirt, the blue long sleeve. That's something I still need to get because it looks kind of dopey with just my bare arms hanging out.
Mm-hmm.
But like, that's what I'm gonna be.
Well, it looks dopey if you're a guy. If you're a girl, no one cares.
But like, it looks kind of weird whenever like.
The more skin, the better.
I need to find a blue, like light blue kind of sweatshirt that'll actually fit me.
Yeah.
But that's what mine is, Doctor Strange, and that's almost complete. And who are you gonna be?
I am going to be Mr. Furious, Ben Stiller's character from Mystery Men. Completely like found stuff. Like I pretty much owned everything that I already had. Already owned everything in the costume. The only thing that is pretty much new from the costume is the trench coat, because I got a new one for $20 at a good store, and it's pretty cool. It's a Calvin Klein one, and it's a good, decent. Also, would become a good trench coat for Gary King costume. Gary King from World's End. That was my costume last year, but I rock it out every now and then. And Mr. Furious has gauntlets on his arms, and it was kind of tough to come up with that one. The other new thing that I bought specifically for it was some fingerless black gloves. Mikey was there for that, that's the new thing. But the shin guards I got the shin guards. The gauntlets that I made are made from kids' soccer shin guards that I got for free at Quizzy's. Quizzy was nice enough to give it to me because I went there to look for different shin guards that I saw that were a little cooler. But these were there, and they fit my arms perfect, and so essentially I got them for free. And then I went home and I put some silver duct tape over the parts so they could be more metallic and they look more like the gauntlets that Mr. Furious has. But yeah. It's pretty cool, and I got, I had the motorcycle goggles because I wear them into winter when I'm walking. And, trench coat, light shirt, it's all good.
That's about it?
Yeah, that's about it. Like, it's pretty much complete, but it still doesn't feel perfect. I think I need some, something to help more distinguish it that is Mr. Furious, because only people, actually saw the movie would know what it is. Because it's an old movie, but, They need something like a T-shirt with a flame on it or something, just to further establish. Yeah. It's almost perfect. I need to find the one more thing where I'm like, yeah, that's Mr. Furious. You know what I mean?
And any thoughts on what you might be, Mikey?
Well, I had a few ideas. I thought it'd be funny if I could find someone with a wheelchair and maybe a tuxedo and be Professor X.
Yeah.
You can call Professor Sex and wear short shorts.
Yeah, just saying, yeah.
Something funny.
I don't know. I also thought about just being a cop. I think that'd be
Come
funny.
as your dad.
Yeah, go as my dad.
You do look like the beginnings of a cop right now.
Yeah.
Like a cop that's been on the job 2 years and he hasn't officially an asshole yet. You know what I mean?
Gets bullied by the other cops.
Yeah. That'd be funny.
You didn't beat that guy enough.
No, I'm really good at stage kind of makeup or making my zombie looking stuff, so I might just be a zombie again, because that's just
the go-to thing.
It's easy and it's pretty cheap. All you need is liquidate latex, fake blood.
Or you can be you can be zombie Professor Xavier. I just thought of something, Professor Sex Xavier.
Sex Xavier.
But no, for me though, I mainly go for costumes that where you can actually see that it's me and my face.
Yeah.
And just I don't know, something about me being that person or being that identity.
You were Superman that one year when we were living together.
Oh yeah, the Halloween party. Yeah. Well, that's a go-to costume for me. It's pretty easy. Yeah.
So, any other topics we need to discuss here? Because I literally ran out of my list.
We kind of skipped over my week.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh shit.
Well, look at. Oh, shit.
But no, we got on a bunch of tangents. Well, for me, week-wise, like I said, I'm usually working. If I'm not working, I'm sleeping. I might watch a movie. But here's a fun story Mikey was there for. So I wanted to go to Vintage Cities because no, they're the only comic book store that I go to that I used to go to regularly that has new subscriptions, like new comics.
Yeah.
Quizzies is awesome for Quizzies, but they have old stuff. Very rarely does like more recent stuff come in. And so I specifically went there to find Adventures of Superman number 14, the one that I talked about, the Joker and Superman have a conversation. Yeah. And I wanted to go for that, and I wanted to get a subscription so that way I could get American Alien, the 7-story arc that Max Landis wrote. It's going to be coming out in November, so I can get that issue by issue. And also I thought about, since I was going to be getting that issue by issue, I might as well do a review because we haven't really actually reviewed like storylines of comics or anything, Yeah. So it'd be something, something different, something for other people. But so me and Mikey go there, and I talked to the guy behind the counter, one of the people behind the counter, and I told him like, how many times, Mikey? Like 5 times.
It was at least 3.
Adventures of Superman, number 14, comic. And he kept asking me he kept asking me which season. And I was like, no, it's not the show, I want the comic. So either he was really dumb or he was really high.
And then the very last time he was like, so we only have Superman seasons 1 and 3.
Yeah.
And Rudy looked over at me and he was like,
yeah, seriously, that's exactly what I did. I looked at him like, tell him again.
he was like, never mind. Everybody who was working there seemed like they were like stoned off their ass.
Yeah.
They probably were stoned as shit.
Yeah, but
it's really frustrating too because nobody knows what. You ask somebody their question like, hey, do you have this? And they're like, what? It's like...
Yeah, what was that one obvious comic that you asked for? And they're like, what's that? You remember what I'm talking about?
Yeah, dude, I totally forget.
It's a fucking comic that like anyone who's walked into a comic book store once in their life knows exists as a comic.
It's because they specifically look for people who don't know anything about comics. That's what they told me. And it was a group interview. They had like 5 or 6 other.
Yeah, you told the story. Yeah.
But like, that's what they told us. We're not looking for the person who knows the most about this stuff. They're just looking for somebody who will work for them.
Well, if you're gonna hire someone who doesn't give a shit really about their job, just fucking hire cheerleaders. That'll give us something, give you a reason for them to be like, oh, okay, it's cool that you don't actually know anything that I want because it's good to look at you for 5 minutes.
And like my whole experience,
well,
I forget what comic I asked him for, and he was like, "What's that?" I'm like, "Wow."
Yeah. You don't know that that's a fucking comic and you work in this store with stuff like that.
But it's stupid. It's like, why wouldn't you want to hire people who really are knowledgeable on it?
I don't know.
That would bring...
I don't know. Maybe they don't want to like have employees that feel like they have a chip on their shoulder, like, I'm a comic encyclopedia.
They could make more money that way.
Yeah, I know. It's some weird.
Yeah, it's
always a very uncomfortable experience going to do
if you go into a restaurant and the managers are like constantly berating into the waiters, like, know the product, know the product, know the product, know the product. Why the fuck aren't you going to do that at a comic book shop? Wouldn't you sell more? People actually knew what the fuck you're talking about.
Exactly what I'm saying. It's like, maybe hire people, like 2 people who really know.
I'm gonna hire an Amish person at this car dealership. That's what the fuck I'm gonna do.
Yeah.
Sorry, Mike.
It's like, hire a few people who know about comics. Hire
at least fucking one.
Or hire a few people who are really knowledgeable about movies and it's, music and then have them, all kind of correlate and work together. You'd be able to boost your sales so much more.
Yeah.
So it's like, if I was like sitting there looking through comics and someone came up, hey man, what do you think you're looking for? It's like, oh, I'm looking for, this and that, whatever. It's like, oh dude, you should check out this too.
Oh, you like Guardians of the Galaxy? Hey, have you read the new Howard the Duck run? There's a new Howard the Duck. Did you know that? Hey, Howard, read this over here because that's kind of weird too.
Yeah.
I would like to go into a comic shop to where I have more of a personal experience. And that's why I like Quizzy so much because he's there to talk to you and he's just, he knows basically where everything is at.
It's his store, he should.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, I know what you mean.
He actually has
He's invested in it. He's not really like, Oh, okay. Just my job.
There's that's over there in the Axis.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like they one of the things they did was like they would give you something off the shelf and then have you put it back. And I was really stupid. So I didn't realize it was in alphabetical order. I'm like, I don't know where the fuck this goes. And then like I realized that right at the last second it was alphabetical order, but I guess I took too long or something.
Yeah, that's funny.
That's why I just wish there was more places like Quizzies.
Yeah.
You know what
I can't wait to go back there. I'm on the very last comic of that like stack of 30 comics I bought last time.
Which comic is it that you're?
I'm on like I'm halfway finished with like that Voodoo from Image Comics.
Oh yeah, how's that?
It's really interesting. It's like
I really wanted to read that.
Yeah, it's like
you got it before I did.
It's like
take pictures of each page and send them to Rudy.
That's too much effort.
I mean, you could probably find like it on. You could probably get a.
A lot of shit's down is digital now. So.
You could probably find like a.
Find it, yeah.
I used to get digital comics off of you know what 4chan is.
Yeah.
I used to get digital comics off of 4chan because if you go to their RAR section, rapid share, the rapid share section, there you could always like go to like type in a search thing and then see what all like the rapid shares and the zip files and stuff people have shared, and I can just type in like
almost any comic. Gets like all of the recent comics from there.
Yeah, and I can. That's where you got a lot of comics from. You can probably find it there.
But yeah, that's a huge that's a rant. But yeah, so I was there. Like I'm like got some I bought some movies and stuff. But one of them that I got was specific because for some reason it's hard for me to find. I got Gremlins 2.
Is that hard? Is that really hard to find?
Yeah,
it is for me apparently.
Huh?
Have you been seeing it around?
I've never seen. I always see Gremlins all over the place.
I don't know what it is. I mean, it's like on TV. When I see any Gremlins movie, it's the first one. I haven't seen the second one. But like, and I haven't seen that movie in a long time, and I don't know why. And I went into that store and they had it out prominently. I'm like, I'm gonna getting this because I have the first one, and I haven't seen it in such a long time. And like I said, don't know what it is, but I can't find it when I'm actually looking for it. I wasn't looking for it this time, and I was like, oh, hey, it's there, so I'm going to walk out with it. I spent more money than I wanted to, but, you know, that's a good thing about fucking having a job. And so I got it, and it just reminded me so much. It's like, you know, it's really cool, it's crazy, and like knowing like things that I know now and then seeing it now as opposed to then. Like I didn't know who Christopher Lee was. I didn't know a bunch of like actors that I know now that are like in classic horror, so on and so forth, and all that. But it just reminded me of why I didn't like. I love Gremlins.
Yeah.
But I didn't really watch it like super often for a very specific reason, and it wasn't because it was scary. There's like 2-3 really scary parts in it if you're a kid.
Yeah.
Right. And it wasn't that.
Really, like freaked me out.
Yeah, but like mainly I didn't watch it because it depressed me. And it's because of the way that the Gremlins, well, you know, Gizmo's a Mogwai, he's the furry one, we're going to call it the green ones, the Gremlins. But it's just because of the way that the Gremlins treat Gizmo. They're like,
oh, okay.
They constantly like, fucking picking on him, beating him up, and like fucking torturing him almost and stuff. And the funny thing is like you, even like at a young age of like 7 or whatever, you instinctively know that these creatures are replicating or like self-replicating. Just add water. They're coming from Gizmo and they're torturing him, and they call him Gizmo Caca, and that's if you basic Spanish, Gizmo shit. So being a little Mexican kid and knowing that being the youngest, that was constantly picked on and verbally and physically abused by my own older brothers, it just pissed me off because there's one specific moment in the first Gremlins where Gizmo is playing a little toy trumpet, and the Gremlins are over there, they're playing video games. Spike is being a piece of shit, and he fucking pukes on Gizmo's trumpet. And before that, Gizmo's having a good time just playing around on it, and then immediately it registers, even from a fucking little furry puppet. It just, I can empathize, like, seeing, like, this little sad face, and he just makes a little exasperated, And then later, it's not funny to me, but later, they're torturing him, and I don't get how you can, fucking humiliate or beat or just mistreat your own blood, your own fucking genetics.
Basically, your parent, basically.
Yeah, they fucking Cameron Gizmo. He's technically his dad. He's technically their dad, right? Or whatever, or mom, whatever, because it's an asexual reproduction.
Yeah.
But I don't get that. I don't get how you could mistreat someone that you share genetics with. Like, I don't know about your family situations. I don't know. You guys. I know you love your parents, and your parents are nice to you and super supportive.
I grew up though like with an older sister and a younger brother. I was stuck right in the middle. Mm-hmm. Are you the same way? Are you kind of
I have 2 older half brothers, then a sister who's younger than me.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so there was a lot of competitiveness going on between me and my younger brother, and my sister and I. We all fought. Just like normal kids. Mm-hmm. There's a few times my sister would smash something over me, or bite me, or punch me, or just natural stuff. Mm-hmm. But that's really basically it,
I accidentally punched my sister in the face once. Not when we were little either. Like 5 years ago.
My younger brother.
I turned around and she was. I turned around kind of like abruptly like that, and she was right there, walking down the hallway.
Just knocked her out. But my younger brother has always kind of just been a pain in the ass, and everybody wants to punch him.
That's what I've heard. That's probably what my sister was like. Oh, I hate that guy.
I've been keep thinking about that since you told me that.
It's weird. I'm like, you don't even know Mikey. How do you hate him? Like, you've never met him in your life, probably.
It's just a lot of people knew who me and my brother were just because of who my dad was, and Bixby is kind of just a small. It's not a small town, but it's a smaller town.
Yeah, everybody kind of knows everybody.
Yeah.
So
except for me, nobody knows me.
And there was always rumors going around about us and stuff that we were bad kids. In high school, me and my brother really weren't bad kids until we graduated, when we kind of
people
stopped giving a fuck.
If people know me at all around here, it's as that guy who always walks around. Because I'm always like going for walks and shit. I go on for I'll go for 2 or 3 hour walks like almost every other day.
It's nice, you're active.
That's good.
And then I always
see. Why not a fat piece of shit?
I always see the same people.
What's up?
all the weird eccentric people. I see a lot. There's actually a lot of really eccentric people in downtown area.
Well, it's because it's more of a quote unquote urban area, more city.
Man.
There's a lot of really There's a guy who, I'm not going to say his name because I don't want him to potentially shoot me, just in case the stories my parents tell me are true. But basically, my parents say that this guy used to be a drug runner in the 80s, because he owned an airstrip near Big Selma Lake, and he used to smuggle drugs in and out of that airstrip, and he has a little shack. It's maybe I shouldn't mention it. I don't want to die today.
I suggest you don't, because you don't want Johnny Depp from Blow to slice your neck.
But he has a really interesting house. It's like he built it, and it's kind of really eccentric. It's not even really a house. It's it's more like a barn. That's all I'm going to say. It's like a barn in the middle of the city.
And he's a weird dude.
Yeah.
So that essentially your story went nowhere.
He was. That's what I'm saying. He was eccentric. There are a lot of people. Most of us think Bixby's boring and everything, but there are especially downtown where I live, there are a lot of eccentric people with interesting backstories and stuff like that. There's this one really old dude who his yard is just basically a junkyard. He has all sorts of old cars and school buses and ambulances and little tuk-tuk looking things in his back. You know what a tuk-tuk is, right?
No. What?
Isn't that tuk-tuk isn't a little the motorcycles with the balconies where people in Asia where people drive around kind of like taxis?
Oh yeah.
Is that
tuk-tuk? No. What the fuck are those called?
Are those called tuk-tuk?
Rickshaw.
Well, there's something else called a tuk-tuk.
Okay.
It's a similar vein.
Okay.
But it's somewhere else.
I don't know why I almost said Rorschach.
Rorschach is there. He'll give you a ride.
Yeah.
Rorschach.
That's
He's
cool.
He's a really interesting old dude. He's just this old dude with all this shit in his yard. I remember
kids haven't disappeared in that neighborhood, have they?
No, as far as I know, there is a cult active in Bixby.
Oh yeah.
What is it?
They're kind of out near Leonard.
Okay.
Down south.
What's the cult into?
Well, they're a Christian cult.
Oh,
but it's like
every Christian.
Well, it's like a really weird like. They used to be called terraforming, because their whole ideology is about like terraforming your soul and terraforming the earth and stuff.
Cool.
But like now after terraforming kind of started getting like a weird rap with the locals. They changed it to something even more weird. Blue Flame 47.
Wow.
Yep. They're a kind of sort of pseudo Christian cultish kind of thing. You drive past. I forget what they call their compound something. It's just right there by the road. You can drive right past it. It's just a bunch of fucking tents set up on the side of the road.
Weird.
But I forget what they call it. I forget what they call their compound. But there's a specific name they call their compound, and it's something really like weird. But like, and they're just Blue Flame 47. They seem like they're having any like Marshall Applewhite things going on where they're like poisoning each other and committing sacrifices and stuff. But like they're just some wacky.
Not that we know of.
Yeah, there's some wacky people who
believe stuff.
Believe wacky stuff, wacky stuff.
Okay.
Like, because the Bible's already kind of wacky to begin with, but like they believe in some like terraforming the earth with like prayer and all sorts of stuff. But like, yeah, it was no. And then they're like apparently there's like phantom hobos too. Because like my friend Gary, he lives out kind of near the country, kind of toward Leonard, and he said at one time he found like a makeshift bed in a bush. Like makeshift bed in a bush with needles in the bed, and he's like, what the fuck because like there are used needles in the bed in the bush.
Well, it's kind of you don't have to be what the fuck about it. It's essentially
like
pretty self-explanatory. You got a junkie
but still though
put a bed together,
just walking around at night and you come across like a makeshift bed, like a mattress in the bush.
Well, that happens when you're in Oklahoma now, apparently.
That's weird. I don't know. And then his girlfriend's mom. And his girlfriend and his girlfriend's mom swear up and down they saw like a cryptozoological creature like out in Leonard, because they said that they were driving back home down like the country road, and there's all these like big creepy ass trees like leaning over, and they saw something like huge fly over their car, and they completely believe it too, because they were scared to death, and they saw something really big like fly. They said it kind of looked like Mothman, kind of like this general, like a big ass, like dark silhouette with really big ass wings and kind of a vaguely human-esque like stance. But like, my dad thinks it might be a Stigini, which is like a Native American there's a Native American legend around here about the Stigini, which is a shape-shifting creature who basically fits the bill of what they saw. It may be like some unidentified creature or some other misidentified thing, but like my dad was reading, because we're part Native American, and he was reading up on it. He's always talked about like the Stigini and stuff, and like things that his dad has told him, and then like things he's read and stuff. I really want to get back and like touch upon my roots and stuff, because I'm really into that.
What's the Stigini's MO?
I can't remember exactly what it was, but it's like. Like its base form is like a giant, like it's almost like a giant owl, like an owl-like form, where it's kind of like this weird. It's kind of like this weird, like vaguely like anthropomorphic owl. Like it has it's like a shapeshifter. It can turn into a person, but it can also become like this owl-like creature, and like this. I think there's like an ape-like one too. It just shapeshifts to whatever form it sees fit. Really. Like I need to look up more.
Does it do any like gnarly shit?
I'm sure it does, because there's all sorts of like. I remember my dad saying that like it was like a bad omen and stuff if you saw one, but I'm not sure exactly what I can't remember. I need to ask him again.
Oh, to see an owl.
Like no, like a Stigini.
I always heard like.
Well, owls in general have like a bad rap too.
There was one time actually in this apartment. You know what? I've seen more wildlife in my apartment complex than I have when I'm out at the lake. Like, I've seen possums out here, bats, snakes, freaking...
I was walking down the street and I saw
a hawk. There was a hawk on the top of my car the other day. I'm like, I took a picture of it. I was like, holy shit, there's a hawk on my car.
I was walking down the street the other day and I saw a ran over armadillo.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I didn't know Guam had armadillos.
Oh, dude, armadillos are everywhere. I see them all the time.
I see them all the fucking time in my yard.
Yeah, I always see them dead.
I see them live in my yard.
I guess I'm an idiot then. Because I didn't know that.
I was thinking like
there's a lot of them around here.
Especially in summer and spring, like summer nights, we always like for the past few years we see like armadillos all the fucking time, and they're like, oh cool, it's an armadillo, but don't mess with it because rabies.
Yeah.
Don't even mess with the armadillo, and like
any little tiny mammal.
Don't even mess with them.
Don't mess with it. Yeah.
Like and then we have like owls. My brother's like definitely afraid of owls because he thinks they're like the devil. Almost literally, he thinks that owls are like evil, and
they're just.
I always send him pictures of like baby owls like making weird faces and nests and stuff. He's like, oh, stop it! I'm like, isn't that cute? I'm like, Kenny, isn't that cute? He's like, no, it's not cute. But like my dad, he works at the high school, and this was a long time ago. He told me there's a story that him and his friend, a coworker, they were on their break. They were outside chilling, like near the entrance to the high school, just chilling about by the cars and stuff. And they heard like something really like something like loud like metal scraping, and like what the fuck? And they turn around and they see a big ass owl. Like they said it was like this big, with like claws the size of your hand almost.
Like 3 feet tall.
Like a big ass owl.
The size of a small child.
Yeah, a really, really big ass owl. And they said it just sat there and just kind of looked at him and for a little bit.
Bobbed its head a little.
And then they looked away and they turned back and it was gone. It flew. They fly silently. You can't hear them when they fly. You can hear them when they land, but you can't hear them when they fly. And they said it was really freaky. Like they're like, what the fuck? And my dad always sees kind of weird shit, like even like some supernatural type stuff. Like my dad, another one of his friends, like in his shed, which is basically like his man cave. He has like a radio and a drum set and a guitar and stuff, and they always listen to music and sometimes jam out. But he has a bunch of wires and shit hanging off the wall because he's got cable TV and all sorts of other stuff, and like power tools, of course. But like he said, him and his friend were out there just chilling, and there's the wire on the wall, and they're talking, and like say this is where the wire was, and they're like this distance between each other. They're sitting there talking. He said the wire, just like not without even making a noise or anything, like no wind or anything, just kind of went at a 90-degree angle in between them and stayed like that for a second, and then went back down to the wall, and they're like,
what was that?
What the hell was that? Did you see that? He's like, yeah. What the hell is that? I don't know. There's some weird stuff. I think I don't know. A lot of people like make fun of people who think like paranormal stuff is real, but I mean there has to be more than just like there obviously is more than what our senses can see. Yeah. We don't know everything. There's obviously weird shit going on.
Also, if you think about it, like anything is pretty weird once you look into it deep enough.
Yeah, but like. And then there's the whole thing.
Because a jellyfish is pretty fucking weird.
Yeah, jellyfish are freaky.
Yeah.
But they exist.
You ever had a jellyfish sandwich?
Well,
nothing I'm aware of.
Then there's like the whole thing where our consciousness is basically electricity, and like, what if somehow one way or another that electricity lingers, that like the consciousness lingers on after death, it gets trapped by some kind of magnetic field somehow or something. Yeah. Like magnetic fields exist, and like electricity, like. That's basically what our minds are made up of. Yeah. Like that's basically what our consciousness is. So I don't know. A lot of people like I don't know. Some people they're like hardcore skeptics who kind of I understand like it's good to be skeptical, but sometimes I'm just like, come on, man, we don't know everything, and like what if like in the future
the fact
they're like they're fucking ghosts. Like, this sometimes. This sometimes happens under the right circumstances that the human consciousness gets trapped here somehow, and instead of like the energy dispersing into the environment.
Well, since you brought that up, is there anything you can think of, like either one of you, that's like a moment to where you cannot explain what happened?
Like possible paranormal stuff?
A possible, to where like that defies the laws of physics, or
Me personally, I actually haven't seen anything or heard anything that seemed supernatural or paranormal, like around me.
For me, like it was mostly in my old house. Like, of course, like I told you a story about like hearing my mom like say goodnight to me multiple times.
Yeah,
and she says she only said it once. That was always kind of weird. And then the toys and like the electronics and stuff working without power. That was always kind of weird.
I used to have, do you guys remember Aladdin, right?
Yeah.
You remember Jafar's staff? It was like the cobra.
Yeah.
I had one of those as a kid, and my mom eventually ended up throwing it away because when she took the batteries out of it, the eyes would still light up.
That's
red.
weird.
And they were red.
That's weird. But like, I had a Tommy Pickles doll like that. It would talk without batteries in it. It was really freaky. We always do it in the closet. We're like, Tommy Pickles, you're going in the closet. Like,
there was one time I was at my grandma's house, and I was laying down, and I was like getting close to pass out, and I felt this was maybe a week after my grandpa died, and I remember laying down, and I felt someone rub the top of my head. I literally felt someone go like that. And I talked to my grandma. I was like, "Did you come in there last night and rub my head and put my blanket on me?" She goes, "No." And my little brother freaked out. He goes, "I felt the exact same thing."
Like,
so that was one of those moments.
The weirdest, the weirdest thing that happened to me. It's not even like me seeing or like hearing anything. It's just the series of. My brother a couple years, like 3 or 4 years ago. He discovered, I'm not sure how he came across it, but he found a pendant that he assumed it was something from Indiana Jones because it was like kind of a bronzy-ish pendant with like weird writing on it. And he thought it was some kind of promotional thing from Indiana Jones, like merchandise. And he had me look it up, and I'm like, that's not from Indiana Jones, dude. I don't remember this in any Indiana Jones movie. And when I looked it up, I found out there was actually it was like a bronze like pendant, and it was a representation of the Babylonian goddess Ishtar. And I'm like, oh, that's pretty interesting. So I started reading up on it a little bit more, and then I realized like her symbols and stuff are like my entire birth sign. Like the month of May, the planet Venus, the color green, emeralds, even in my stories and stuff, like a lot of time, I make references to green fire in my stories, just because like aesthetically, I think that's really like an interesting like visual is like green flames, and even some of my passwords on the internet have to do with green fire or emerald fire. And then I looked up more on Ishtar, and apparently another one of the things she's associated with is that one of her other correspondences is the metal copper, which burns with a green flame, and then like that series of circumstances where all those things kind of like connected to things that were already in my life to begin with. And my brother doesn't know anything about that. He thought it was from fucking Indiana Jones. It's not like he said. It's not like he's trying to pull one over on me because my brother's not really that. My brother's not smart. I mean, he's smart in some things. He's street smart. He's just not occult practitioner smart. But like, and it was just weird. Like, I know. I always felt weird after that too. After finding all that shit out too. I don't know.
That's weird stuff. Go ahead. It's fine.
Yeah, it's just like for me. I've already spent most of my life wondering whether or not I was crazy, so I really don't.
Yeah.
I really don't need proof that maybe I am.
I kind of realized this, and I'm not sure we explained this yet, but this is the latest we've ever recorded.
Yeah,
it's 11:17.
Oh shit! It's 11 o'clock already.
Oh, damn, yeah.
I already am kind of feeling like we're not as at our strongest right now. So we apologize for that.
I think it's fine.
Yeah, it's fine. I just like getting together with you guys and seeing your sexy faces.
It's cool, yeah.
Yeah, but I didn't notice how late it was though.
We've got next week's episode should be pretty special.
Hopefully, yeah.
We're gonna plan something out within this week, and have a really fun Halloween episode for you guys to listen to.
Halloween's next week?
Halloween's next weekend, right?
Yeah, it looks Friday.
It's the 21st right now, right?
Yeah.
Well, so basically almost next weekend.
Yeah, almost next weekend. I was thinking
it's coming, so we're planning for it. Is what he's saying.
I'm really interested in seeing.
Yeah, it's next weekend, man. It's next Saturday.
Next Saturday.
Yeah.
I need to check my schedule.
Adam had some good stuff to say. Rudy, you had some good shit to say.
Oh yeah.
And I got promoted.
Oh yeah. Also about my week that I forgot. Just before we ran out, I worked a bit more on the proscenium script. Yeah. Well, the outline, I should say. Last time I talked about it, I had 3 pages. Now I got 7. And I'm working to getting towards 20 pages.
Just in the outline, not the script itself.
Yeah, just the outline. And I want.
Which is that's a lot of pages if you're doing an outline.
Yeah, like for me, like the way I work writing for screenwriting, like I don't start writing. Let's say I have 3 pages, and I have it down to like 3. Like each page is an act, and that's like the most loose outline that I can have. Sometimes I can work entirely off that, and I have an entire like 90-page script, and have it written over like a course of like 8 days if I ever have everything that I want figured out. And fucking no, dude, it's just like if you figure it out early, then you won't have writer's block. You won't come into issues later on. So I try to get it figured out as much as possible before I start writing.
So what is it you like to tell about like kind of the story? Because I know you kind of brought it up a little bit, but maybe kind of give them in this last 5 minutes we got here, kind of what proscenium's all about. What you want to at least give away.
Well, I really don't want to give away that much because if you've been around, you kind of know what it's about.
Well, all I gotta say is Rudy told me everything, and it's awesome.
Pretty bad.
Everything that I have so far. Like I said,
I could actually potentially seeing this being like a new age of like superhero style movies, but not.
Oh, that's a lot of pressure, Mikey.
But it's good though. So far, it's like
you basically tell them like it's going to set a new standard for
superheroes. If it ever sees the light of day.
It's a whole different. It's a superhero movie, but it's not.
Yeah.
That's what's great about it.
Yeah, but essentially, like, I got 7 pages. Like, I got the whole first act mapped out. I got a few bits of the second act. Essentially, the main thing that I'm having issue with is coming up with the villain. I want to have a good, solid villain.
I'll be the villain.
I don't want the villain from Thor 2.
I'll be the butter.
Because you don't remember shit about what he wants or what he's doing. You just know he's a bad guy and he has to be stopped.
And the Aether was involved.
I'll be the butter man.
Okay.
I'll smear butter all over the bad guys and on the floor.
But the last time the main character and the hero that is his idol in the real world didn't have a name. They have names now.
Oh, you haven't told me that yet.
Yes. The main
you don't get to hear it, but I do.
I was gonna tell him.
Don't.
You want to feel special?
I want to feel special.
Okay, we'll save that for whenever the outline's full. But yeah, they got names now, and I got some issues problem now, and I got possible mysterious stuff going on. I actually have an idea, a completed thematic idea of how to make it into a trilogy. And how it works, and how each is its own standalone story.
Yeah, you told me about that.
Yeah, it's a standalone story, but again, they all connect together. And it's pretty cool, I think. But yeah, like I said, work is still being done, folks. Don't think I'm just blowing smoke up ass.
Sorry for this late, kind of random
off the
episode.
Beaten path, kind of.
We really didn't have anything in mind. We're just like, hey, Back to the Future's anniversary is this week. Let's just kind of bring that up.
Also, we all have jobs. We all been tired. Mikey's been working a shit double shifts.
I worked 3 double shifts this week, or in a row. Yesterday I worked all day. The day before that I worked all day, and the day before that I worked all day. And then they called me this morning, and I picked up a shift, and I worked for 4 hours.
Bitch, you don't know about double shifts.
Oh, dude, trust me, dude. Like
We'll get into this later.
It's been a while since I've done that. But when I worked at Santa Fe, I worked doubles every single shift I worked. It sucked.
I'm not as tired as I could be right now. I'm surprised. I've been up since 5 a.m.
I'm glad that I'm not like working off tips.
I gotta wake up at 4 tomorrow.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
I'm glad I'm not working off tips anymore.
Same.
I love that because
I can't.
especially when you work doubles, sometimes it's like a waste of your time. It's
Exactly.
like
We're not allowed
you
to
work all
accept
those
tips.
you work all those double shifts and then you leave home. You leave that day with like just $100. It's like what the hell?
Sometimes it's just
all
not
day.
even 100. Sometimes it's like just 20
I-
from both shifts.
Well, now I'm gonna be a manager at this place and
He's gonna be making the big bucks.
making good money and maybe
Don't get too cocky. They got their eye on you.
No,
They got their eye on you.
He's gonna be the next
Yeah.
CEO of the company.
Yeah, you'll see. I'll
something,
show you.
something good comes of this.
About the whole tips thing, though, at my job, we're not allowed to have tips.
Yeah,
We,
sorry.
we will get in trouble
I'll
if
slip-
they catch us getting tips.
I'll
I've
slip
got-
it- I'll
I've
slip
gotten
it.
tipped before. I've gotten tips before, but like I go, well, technically I'm not allowed to get the tip, but they don't have to know about them. Give me the fucking tip.
I'll just go up and slide it in your front pocket.
Yeah, so some old lady like gave you like $5, like I don't want to give you this. I'm like, I can't really accept that. Thank you.
No,
I was like a drug deal.
Adam,
like
I'm
a
gonna go
bag.
up to your store and slip it slowly and delicately into your man cleavage.
Yeah. Well, we're gonna have to wrap it up here, boys.
Yeah, well,
Yeah.
otherwise we'd be here all night.
This has been a very different episode of Freak Fiction.
Hey, guess what? You're listening to us not at our best, so let's see how that goes.
Yeah, it's
it's
late
the
in the
tired
day.
cast.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure I'm gonna have Tuesdays off consistently, because that's I kind of told him I do a podcast.
And
Well, I know I said I'll work any day of the week. I'll work on Tuesdays as long as I have the evenings off.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like
Well,
I'll work every day of the week.
Like
but-
with my job, it seems like already they kind of like either Wednesday or Tuesday or Wednesday I'll have off regardless.
We'll still be able to record at least, but hopefully, if it's late at night like this, we'll be a little more prepared and.
We'll bring some heroin,
Yeah.
get pepped up a little bit.
Yeah. Well, actually, that will. not
Allegedly.
pep you.
Methamphetamine.
Allegedly.
Yeah. Let's bring some meth. You know.
I'm sure somebody in my family.
Dude, I bet if you knock on like the third door on either side of this
I
apartment.
could probably go down the block and find
No,
some.
Bixby, Oklahoma. That's like a big deal out there.
Yeah, it's.
Anyway.
Let's stop ending on weird dark notes. Come on, guys.
Well, thanks for listening to another episode of Freak Fiction.
You guys are awesome.
I'm Mikey White.
I'm Adam Burr.
I'm Rudy Ramone. Thanks for listening.
Have a good night.